often get asked, Blade, I have X amount of stubs. What should I go ahead and do with that? Now, though I don't think that completing the live series collection is the smartest thing to do as soon as possible, there are certain teams you want to work towards completing. Before we can even get into that, although, I do have to remind you that inside Team Affinity, you are going to be able to find 4 of these live series division packs per division. It guarantees that you get 4 live series players. 2 of them will be bronze and 2 of them will be silver, and they will be from the 5 teams that are presented there. I mentioned this because the final pack comes at 95,000 Team Affinity points, so it should be obtainable for everyone. Other than that, some of these bronzes and silvers are selling for a lot more than they should be. So if you want to go ahead and knock out these collections for even cheaper, you would go ahead and get these packs and hopefully strike gold when it comes to pulling the bronzes and silvers that are costing a lot, in particular to the Cincinnati Reds, where everything is inflated. Setting ourselves a 100,000 stubs limit, we start off with the Oakland Athletics. Inside of the Oakland Athletics, you are going to find this supercharged Bhlademyst Diaz. Whenever a player is supercharged, usually the price is inflated. If we go over to the marketplace tab, you will see that his buy now before he got supercharged was underneath 300 stubs, and his sell now was underneath 200 stubs. So what I highly suggest doing whenever there is a player that is supercharged and you do not have that current player is to hold on and wait until that player is no longer supercharged and the price of his card drops, and then I would go ahead and purchase him. And if you wanted to purchase him outright because you did not want to wait or take the risk of the player ever dropping back down in price, you would look at the right hand side where it says sellable. That is where the buy orders are placed, and you would place your buy order 1 stub higher than whatever the sellable is. That way you are prioritized whenever anyone wants to sell that Bhlademyst Diaz, so it can be your buy order that they sell it to. Completing the entire Athletics Live Series collection is going to cost you roughly 4,000 stubs, and the method of doing this is by creating buy orders. You never want to buy cards outright because it is going to be a lot more costly, and stubs, you need to save as many as you possibly can. The second collection is going to be the Kansas City Royals, and everything should be a lot cheaper, especially if you have some time on the game. Why? Because of the Team Affinity packs I mentioned before. Also, because if you've done conquest maps or even mini seasons, you should be getting a ton of standard packs that have some of these live series players in there. And if you've gotten lucky, you might have gotten Bobby Witt Jr. or Salvador Perez, which should be 2 of the highest selling cards inside of this collection. Collecting the Royals live series collection is going to roughly bring you up to 4,000 stubs as well. Continuing on from there, we have the Washington Nationals. The Washington Nationals is going to be roughly 5,000 stubs. We went ahead and rounded each and every single price to the closest thousand. The Detroit Tigers will be up next. They are going to be roughly 5,000 stubs as well. Some of these teams, I wouldn't say the Detroit Tigers are one of them, but they do have a ton of rookies. Some of these teams that have a ton of rookies or a ton of prospects do have the ability to go up in price a lot faster, because those prospect cards can hold a lot of value whenever roster update predictions or roster updates in general start coming out, and they are going to be, unlike previously, every 3 weeks. So every 3 weeks you will see some of these players either getting upgraded or downgraded from their overalls, and due to people investing in these cards, the prices could be a little bit higher from what they are now, or they could be a whole lot lower, since a lot of people think that the card is going to be downgraded, so they're trying to get rid of it. Colorado Rockies are a team that are roughly 5,000 stubs as well, and you're going to follow the same rubric that you followed with the Oakland Athletics here. If you do not have this CJ Cron, you would not go ahead and purchase him, because if you look at the marketplace tab, you will see that his price jumped from 896 stubs to selling currently for about 1,400 stubs, and that is a 500 stub jump increase that could help you complete a lot of these other live series collections. The Diamondbacks are up next, and like I talked about the Tigers, the Diamondbacks are one of those teams that have a lot of prospects that could go up in overall and make the collection be a whole lot more expensive. For example, Zach Gallen, he was a diamond last year. If he performs well for the first half, he should easily go back to diamond. Christian Walker might have not been a diamond, but he was a high gold overall. So if he replicates the performance from last year, he definitely is going all the way up to diamond, especially since he already has good fielding at first base. Then you have prospects like Gabriel Moreno, you have Corbin Carroll, you have Jake McCarthy, and you have Ketel Marte, who had a down year last year, but should definitely not be a 73 overall. So if he's able to find himself again and get back back to the Ketel Marte we all know and love, the 99 overall version of himself, then he can definitely jump back to silver and back to gold, but diamond should be a long shot just because of how bad he had of a season last year. The Cubs are the next collection, and before we talk about the Cubs, let me remind you to hit that like button or subscribe button, notification bell, so you don't miss another upload. Aiming for 25,000 subscribers. Let's get there. Also inside the description we got the Twitch, the Discord, social medias, and how to become a member. Check all those links out. Now we're talking about the Cubs. Roughly they're going to run you up 7,000 stubs, and that is a high estimate if you're creating buy orders. Right now, one of the most expensive cards, or one of the outliers in price, is going to be Marcus Stroman. He struck out 8 and he pitched a shutout in terms of how many innings he pitched. If you look at the marketplace trend, it's a downward trajectory, and that is the life cycle of most supercharged cards. Will Marcus Stroman return to that 155, 175, 200 buy now and under 150 sell now price? It is difficult to say, because if he has another great performance like he did previously, it is more than likely that his card is going to be one of the primary targets for roster update predictions, and if he continues on pitching well, then he is definitely a gold caliber player and even has the possibilities of hitting diamond. With the possibility of him going diamond, let me give you all a little trick. So you see how the sell now is 410. That means that people are creating buy orders at 410. So if you went ahead and, let's say for example, created 100 buy orders at 340 stubs, if Marcus Stroman went all the way to diamond and all of the sell orders were sold and the only ones available were the ones that you had put in from a long time ago, people would be able to sell you that diamond Marcus Stroman at 340 stubs as long as you do not cancel your order, and then you would be able to quick sell him at a much higher price because the quick sell value of a diamond is a lot higher than 340 stubs. So this is a guaranteed way to make some profit whenever a roster update is looming soon, and there is a player that is almost a guaranteed lock to go diamond. Staying in the NL Central, we got the Pittsburgh Pirates. Oneil Cruz is going to be one of the most expensive supercharged cards. Why is he going to be one of the more expensive supercharged cards? As you can see the differences in price, well, because Oneil Cruz is really hyped up inside of the MLB The Show community. Not only that, but he has 99 speed and his bat is amazing. With that fielding, although at shortstop he's better at a DH than anything else. Another great thing that you can do while completing these live series collections is, if you're working towards team affinity, you can take these teams into mini seasons, conquest, or even play versus CPU. Whatever it is that you like doing to grind out team affinity XP missions or team affinity missions in general, you can go ahead and make live series team builds with the captains in place. So for the Pirates, you would be using a starting pitcher, and then whichever team has a hitting captain, you would be using that team's hitters in general to go ahead and get the captain boost. Surprisingly, the Boston Red Sox are selling for 7,000 stubs right now, and that is a low ball. Adam Duvall, if he gets supercharged, he's going to make this price a whole lot more. I will tell you that right now, and as you can see, the price of his card is going up because he most likely is going to win Supercharged Player of the Week. But one thing I want you to pay close attention to is this man Rafael Devers. If he gets plus 14 to both sides, which is a hefty upgrade, he does not even become a diamond just yet. He will only become an 84 overall. So it is crucial to pay attention to Rafael Devers splits against lefties in particular, because that is what's going to push him to becoming a diamond and allowing you to make some profit off of him. Chris Sale is also someone to pay attention to. He hasn't pitched in a long time, and if he has worse performances than he did versus the Orioles, then it is very likely that he will get downgraded to silver. Inside this list, I didn't mention this earlier, but we're gonna have two teams that I do not believe you should collect because the prices of these cards are a bit inflated, and the San Francisco Giants is one of them. There is absolutely no reason that the San Francisco Giants should be running you up 9,000 stubs and being more expensive than the Boston Red Sox. So although they are a cheap team to go ahead and collect, I do not think that currently for the price that these cards are selling at in terms of total, you should be looking to collect the San Francisco Giants. The Baltimore Orioles, on the other hand, they're going to continue jumping up in price. These guys are playing really good baseball and their offense has been great. Not only that, but Adley Rutschman is going to be a card that a lot of people are going to have going diamond very early on in terms of roster updates. Cedric Mullins seems to be finding himself. Pretty sure he has either 2 home runs or getting close to there, and one of them was against a lefty. So that's going to help out his power versus left tremendously if he continues to do that. And obviously they have other players supercharged, So make sure you hold off on the supercharged cards. Even though Adley Rutschman is predicted to go diamond 100%, this card is not going to maintain its value because the roster update is not until the 21st of April, and it's very unlikely that he will go diamond inside the first roster update unless he continues performing well. So you will see this downward trajectory continue, so I would just hold off on him and I would hold off on Austin Hayes. But completing this collection is going to run you up roughly 11,000 stubs. Completing this Orioles Live Series collection is going to roughly run you about 10,000 stubs. Like I said, I would play it safer and I would wait until these cards are not supercharged anymore. That way you get it for even cheaper. The Toronto Blue Jays are the opposite of the San Francisco Giants. They are currently going to run you up about 13,000 stubs if you go ahead and wait for the supercharged players not to be supercharged anymore. I believe that this collection is one of the most important ones to knock out as soon as possible. Why, you might ask? Well, as you can see, most of these cards are high overall golds. So all it takes is a hot streak and they will be diamond. And if they go diamond, then the collection is going to be a whole lot more expensive. So right now, for around 13,000 stubs, you are getting a bargain. Cincinnati Reds, on the other hand, are completely the opposite of the Blue Jays and exactly like the San Francisco Giants. They used to be selling for 17 to 18,000 stubs in terms of creating buy orders. Right now they're sitting at 14,000 stubs roughly estimated. I would not complete this collection either. Wait until it continues dropping. It should be underneath 10,000 stubs and it should be closer to the 6,000 to 4,000 range than the current price it's currently at, which is 14,000 stubs estimated. I would hold off and I would wait until the prices drop. They're gonna drop, I would say, in the middle of April or after the first roster update, since it's unlikely that anyone will have a substantial upgrade. So therefore, I would either wait until after the first roster update or until the middle of April. I will make sure to keep you guys updated with the best collections to do. A team that only has one diamond, that is cheap to collect and has potential of having more diamonds, is going to be the Chicago White Sox, and this is the final team that we're going to go ahead and recommend to you all. It's roughly going to run you 16,000 stubs to complete this collection. Once again, wait until Dylan Cease is no longer supercharged and his price drops a little bit, even though he has the possibility of getting upgraded in a roster update, making his price a little bit more costly. It shouldn't be too drastic. So I would wait until he's no longer supercharged, wait till the middle of April, and then I would go ahead and purchase him. They have a ton of guys that could go all the way up to diamond or even hit that gold tier. We're talking about guys like Luis Robert that can easily go diamond, Lance Lynn, Liam Hendricks, and Tim Anderson even has the possibility of going diamond, going gold, and Eloy Jimenez as well. So this is a team that you do want to pay attention to and see how they're performing throughout the regular season, because a lot of these cards would be good investments for roster update predictions, and this is also a bargain what you're getting for in terms of completing this live series collection. That being said, I hope you enjoyed today's content. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Check out the description for the Twitch, Discord, social medias, and how to become a member. We're aiming for 25,000 subscribers before April 16th. Let's go ahead and hit that. Have a blessed day and night. Stay positive, stay safe, stay blessed, and I will catch you all in the next one. Peace out.